All right, so we're diving deep today into a trade that, honestly, probably made your jaw drop.
I know mine did.
Yeah, seriously. We're talking about Kaapo Kakko. Traded. The Rangers sent their 2019 #2 overall pick to Seattle.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the reaction we all had, right? I mean, if you're here listening to this deep dive, you probably already know the basics. But that's not why we're here. What we're trying to figure out is, what does this really mean? For Kakko, for the Kraken, and for the Rangers.
Yeah, and I think the first thing to wrap our heads around is just how rare this kind of trade is.
Sure.
We're not just talking about any player here. This is the #2 overall pick. That's like sacred territory in the draft, you know? Teams don't usually give up on that kind of potential so early.
It's like trading away a unicorn. Okay, so let's talk Kakko. His time with the Rangers was, well, kind of a roller coaster, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I mean, there were those moments, those flashes of brilliance, those 2 game winners against the Islanders. Those were magical. But then there were those stretches where he wasn't exactly lighting it up, right?
Right.
And the numbers tell the story there. He had, what, 61 goals, 131 points over 330 games?
Right. Not terrible numbers by any means.
Not terrible, especially for a guy drafted that high.
Exactly. Especially for a #2 pick, you expect a little more.
You hope for a little more.
And when you dig deeper than those basic stats, it gets even more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like if you look at some of his advanced metrics, his Corsi, for example, which measures puck possession.
Right.
Well, it suggests that he wasn't driving possession as effectively as you'd want, you know, for a top line forward. And then his expected goals, that's another interesting one.
Okay.
They were consistently lower than his actual output. So that kind of hints that maybe, just maybe, he was riding a bit of a lucky streak at times.
So maybe some of those inconsistencies weren't just bad luck or, chemistry with line mates.
Yeah, maybe there's something more there.
Something deeper.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? And then this season, things kind of came to a head. Only 14 points in 30 games. And then that healthy scratch against St. Louis.
Woof. Yeah, that sent a message to Kakko and maybe to the rest of the team too.
Absolutely. A message that, changes are coming.
Right. And we got to remember, the Rangers as a whole have been struggling.
They have.
So maybe this move, this whole Kakko situation, is as much about shaking up the team as it is about Kakko himself.
I think that's a huge part of it. It's all connected.
It's like a big hockey puzzle,
Yeah.
and they're trying to fit the pieces together.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's switch jerseys for a sec. Let's look at this from Seattle's perspective. They're taking a gamble here, right?
Definitely a gamble.
But is it really a low-risk, high-reward move, as some people are saying?
I'm not so sure about that. I mean, what if Kakko's struggles are more mental than situational,
Right.
What if it's not just about needing a change of scenery?
Yeah, what if a new city and a new team isn't some magic fix?
Right. It could be about coaching styles. It could be about finding the right line combinations. Or maybe Seattle's system, which is built on speed and transition.
Right, they're fast.
Well, maybe that actually hinders Katuko's development because he's never been the fastest skater on the ice.
Exactly. And then there's the pressure, right? I mean, the pressure of being a top pick follows you everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe going to a market with less media scrutiny, less fan pressure, maybe that helps him relax and find his game.
Right.
But it could also backfire. What if he doesn't deliver quickly?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That pressure could just intensify.
So Seattle is definitely rolling the dice. They're hoping he finds his scoring touch, boosts their offense, which, let's be honest, could use a little boost. But now let's flip the ice back over and look at what the Rangers are getting out of this. We've got Will Borgen, a physical defenseman. Can he solve their blue line problems?
Well, Borgen is a solid stay-at-home defenseman, and his career-high 25 points last season, that shows he can chip in offensively. But, and this is a big but, his style might not be the best fit for the Rangers system. Oh, how so? Well, they really emphasize puck movement, offensive contributions from their defensemen. They need someone who can quarterback the power play.
Yeah.
And that's not really Borgen's strength.
Right. And his numbers have taken a dip this season.
You have.
So maybe the Rangers are more interested in his grit, his toughness, especially after trading Trouba and with Miller battling injuries.
That's a good point. They need some muscle back there.
Exactly. And let's not forget the draft picks.
Yeah.
A 3rd and 6th rounder in 2025.
Can't forget about those.
In a division as tight as the Metro, those could be crucial for building depth down the line.
Absolutely. Draft capital is gold in this league.
It's like future currency. And then there's the ripple effect, right? Think about the impact on other players like Victor Mancini. He gets a chance to step up in the AHL with Kakko gone.
Right. One move triggers a whole chain reaction.
And speaking of chain reactions, this Kakko trade is part of a bigger trend, isn't it? We're seeing a lot of 2019 draft picks being traded. It's kind of crazy.
It is. And it makes you wonder, right?
It does.
Are teams getting impatient with development, or is this draft class just not living up to the hype? It's something to think about.
Yeah, maybe we overvalue those immediate results, those quick fixes. Maybe we need to be more patient, give these young guys more time to develop.
Right. Maybe the pressure cooker environment is just too much for some of them.
It's a lot to process. So we've got a young player trying to find his place, a team taking a big swing, and another team trying to retool on the fly.
And we'll all be watching to see how it plays out.
Exactly. Will Kakko blossom in Seattle? Or will this be another frustrating chapter in his career?
Who knows? That's the beauty of it, right?
That's why we love hockey. It's unpredictable. So what do you think? Will Kakko find his groove in Seattle? Let us know. Hit us up on social media. Join the conversation.
We're all in this deep dive together.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See ya!